You ever get that feeling like someone's watching you? Not just a random creepy feeling, but something real, something that makes your skin crawl, that makes the air feel heavier. Jake and his friends felt that, and they ignored it. That night, they weren't just being watched, they weren't alone. And the camera caught everything. The house that no one talks about. Every town has that house. The one kids dare each other to visit. The one people whisper about but never go near. In their town, that was Blackwood Manor. The house had been abandoned for over 50 years. No one knew why. The records just stopped. No sales, no foreclosures. It was as if the last owners simply vanished. Over the years, stories piled up. People claimed to hear screams in the middle of the night. A few swore they'd seen figures standing in the windows, even though the place had no electricity. One guy, an old neighbor, refused to walk past the property after dark. "I don't care if you think I'm crazy," he had told Jake's friend Lisa. "There's something in that house, and it doesn't want visitors." But Jake, he didn't believe in ghosts. So when someone dared him and his friends to go inside, stay a few hours, and record everything, he didn't hesitate. Worst decision ever. The night everything went wrong. They arrived just before midnight, armed with flashlights, phones, and an old night vision camera Jake's cousin used for ghost hunting videos. The second they stepped inside, the air changed. It was freezing, colder than it should have been for a summer night. The walls smelled like rot, and the floor creaked beneath their weight. Every breath felt thick, like the house itself was breathing with them. But they laughed it off, pretended it was just their nerves. They set up 3 cameras, one in the living room, one in the hallway, and one in the basement. Then they waited. For the first hour, nothing happened. And then, at exactly 1:13 a.m., the house woke up. The shadow in the hallway. Lisa was the first to hear it. Whispers, soft, like they were coming from another room. But the house was empty. Then the hallway camera flickered, and something appeared. A figure. Not fully there, but not there either. It was standing at the end of the hall, just outside the reach of their flashlights. It didn't move. It didn't breathe. It just watched. Jake's stomach dropped. "Who the hell is that?" No one answered. No one could answer. Because deep down, they all knew the truth. That thing, it wasn't human. The rocking chair that shouldn't have moved. "Guys, we need to go," Lisa whispered. But before anyone could move, creak. The sound came from the living room. Slow, deliberate, like someone was sitting in the old rocking chair, rocking back and forth. They turned. The chair was moving. No one was in it, or at least, no one they could see. The basement door opened by itself. Then came the knock. 3 slow, heavy knocks from the basement. No one had been down there. No one had even touched the door. Lisa backed away, shaking her head. Nope, we're leaving." Jake grabbed the hallway camera, shoving it into his backpack. "Yeah, screw this." They turned toward the front door and froze. Because the door was open. They hadn't opened it. And standing in the doorway was a shadow, taller than any of them, unnaturally thin with hollow, empty eyes that stared right at them. The lights flickered. The air turned ice cold. Then, total darkness. The last footage. Jake doesn't remember much after that. Just flashes, running, screaming, the feeling of something behind them. They made it outside. They don't know how, but they did. When they checked the footage the next day, most of it was corrupted. But one clip survived, the living room camera. At exactly 3 a.m., the rocking chair was still moving, and something, was sitting in it. A dark figure, its head tilted slightly, as if listening. Then, right before the footage cut out, it turned toward the camera and smiled. Sucker 1. Do you believe now? Jake and his friends never went back. They never spoke about it again. But the house, it's still there. And sometimes when people walk by at night, they swear they see someone standing in the window, watching, waiting, maybe for the next person foolish enough to walk inside. Still think it's just a story. Watch the footage. And if you ever feel someone watching you from the dark, run. Like scary stories, hit subscribe. Just don't watch alone.